Today on Simplified, we want to talk about the man, or should I say the boy child, the grown-up boy, the big boy, the man, the male. So I personally believe that a lot of the problem we have in marriage and family in our societies, the majority of them is coming from the male. That's my belief from my personal experience and interaction. I think in male-female relationship, most of the problem comes from the male. I think most times the female is putting more effort into making a relationship work than the male. This is not general reason for every case. There are cases where the woman is the problem, but I would say for maybe like above 60% of the cases, when you counsel people, you find that out it's the man's fault most times. And why is that? I believe that the reason is because we don't raise the male child properly. We don't spend time as parents to raise our male children. And then when you, at the end of the day, you find out that the man, he knows how to make money, he knows how to do a lot of things, but he doesn't really know how to take care of a woman. He doesn't really know how to understand a woman, love a woman, care for a woman, be patient with a woman, understand the diversity, the difference between a woman and a man, and how to love a woman. So loving a woman becomes a lot of work to the man. Emotionally, stress. It's like the woman is always demanding too much, and then you just get tired of that. That's why it's hard for most men to keep a relationship, a marital relationship. You're dating somebody 4 or 5 years. The woman can do that. For the man, after some months, some years, he's had too much of the woman because the woman is demanding a lot from the man. And the man is not used to that. He's used to being a man. He's used to have his way. So in this short video, I'm just going to give some advice to the male. And I titled this one, Brothers Needed. Brothers Needed. Because I think in our society, we need brothers. We need young, responsible men who are trained and who understand their roles and their responsibilities in society, in a marital relationship, and who have the discipline, the dutifulness, the determination to want to keep to that, to meet up to the responsibilities that is demanded of them. So I'm just going to point out a few things. There's so much to say about a man in a relationship. I'm just going to point out a few things here. First of all, I'm going to say to every man that before you seek to be a spouse or a boyfriend or a husband, first seek to be a man. Don't grow up and wanting a woman in your life, a girl in your life, wanting to date a girl just because you have feelings or you're sexually grown up and you want a girl in your life. First of all, seek to be a man, seek to be an adult, seek to be an adult male. Before you seek to bring up the responsibility of a woman, because a woman is a responsibility. A girlfriend is a responsibility. You don't just bring her into your space and just want her when you want her and she just shows up. She comes with a big bag, every woman, and you have to keep maintaining that relationship, that person. Not just maintaining them financially, but emotionally is even more demanding than financially, and you have to be up for it. So be a man first, be grown up before you want to be a spouse or a husband or a boyfriend, or you want to bring a girl into your space. And what does it mean to be a man? It means to be able to meet up to your own responsibilities first. You know, it was Dr. Miles Monroe that taught us many years ago that before God gave the man a woman, he first gave him work. So when God created the man, it was work first before woman. So as a man, you have to seek to sort out your work. You have to seek to have the work part of your life sorted before you are in a hurry to bring in a girl into your space. So at 15 or even less nowadays, you start having feelings for girls. You want a girlfriend, but be careful now. Before you start taking that relationship serious, be sure that you sort out the work part of your life. Figure out where you are going to. I did a video on living your life on purpose. Discover what you want to do, find your career, grow it, invest in it, invest work, invest effort. develop yourself, be a man who can look after himself, who's got his own under control before you bring a woman and the whole responsibility that the woman brings into your space. Yeah, so that's in Genesis where God taught us that work first before woman. The other thing that's important that Dr. Miles Monroe taught us many years ago is real estate. So a man has to try and have some form of real estate. Now, this is not a prerequisite to finding a woman, but it's a good advice that at some point in your life, whether you have a woman or not, as a man, as a brother, try to own real estate as much as you can. Work towards that. It will take you some time. Everybody's path is different. Some people they are born with a silver spoon. Some were born with a golden spoon. Some were born with no spoon at all. But have the drive, have the determination to get your work sorted and to be financially stable and to fight to own a real estate. It's important from what I have learned in my life. The other advice we'll give a man is to own your sexual life, to have it under control. Okay, a woman coming into your life does not satisfy you sexually. In fact, there's really no way to be 100% sexually satisfied. One woman will not do that for you. So, in the real sense, what you do with your sexual life is to be able to have it under control, not just to have it satisfied. The woman will satisfy you to an extent, to a great extent, but you don't bring a woman to your space just to sexually satisfy you. No. Marriage, when we're bachelors and as Christian brothers, we're not allowed to have sex before marriage. We're keeping ourselves and we're saying that when I marry God, I'll have all the sex in the world. Marriage does not satisfy you sexually, and you find that out quickly when you get married, that it doesn't meet all your sexual needs. It's beautiful. It's a work in progress. You enjoy it a lot, but sex was not really meant to be satisfied 100%. You have to have control over it. You cannot have sex every time you want to have sex. That's childish. That's not a man. A man must be able to discipline himself and say, okay, this sex is not the sex I'm going to have. Most men go into a relationship and they just want to have sex because they feel like it. So being a man is that you have self-control. Sometimes you feel like something, but you teach yourself that you don't always get what you feel like getting when you feel like getting it. It's self-control. A man, in fact, the word man is very synonymous with the word self-control. You have to be self-controlled. That's what they say, be a man. Be a man. That means control yourself. So sexually also, before you start bringing a woman into your space, have control over your sexuality, your sexual desire. Have dominion over your sex appeal. Be disciplined that you don't get the sex every time you want the sex. The other thing you must learn as a young man is the respect for a woman. You see, a woman is a special being created by God, and she's meant to be cared for. She's meant to be treated carefully. When the Bible says that they are weaker vessels, I believe you must have learned by now that weaker vessels doesn't mean they are weak. It means they are special vessels. That's what the word weaker there means. It's special vessels, vessels that are fragile, vessels that you have to handle carefully because they're special, they're expensive, they are fragile. So that's what weaker vessels mean. So a woman is meant to be treated like a special vessel. You don't start shouting at a woman, and you never hit a woman. And I was having this conversation with some friends just yesterday when we're having a dinner, and we're just talking about hitting a woman. You don't hit a woman. One day I went to pick my son from school. My son was 8, and when I went to his classroom to pick him up after school, a young girl walked up to me. She's probably like 5 years old, and she went and said, Ethan's dad, Ethan hit me. A young girl. My son is Ethan. And I said, say that again. He said, Ethan hit me. And I said, oh, I'm very sorry. And I hugged the girl and I apologized. And I went to my son's teacher and I said, are you aware that my son hit this young girl? And the teacher said, yeah, I think I heard something like that. And I've talked to them. And I said, okay. So I took my son and I asked him, did you hit this girl? And he's like, I was playing with this. And I said, no, that's not what I asked you. Did you hit the girl? He said, yes. I said, okay, we see at home. And of course, I gave him some punishment, but then I had a long talk with him. Because from that age, I need to educate the boy. You don't hit a girl. You never, there's no condition, there's no reason for a man to raise his hand on a girl, whether it's a daughter, a sister, a wife, a mother, a cousin, a relative, a colleague. You don't do that. You don't hit anybody. You don't hit a girl for that matter. They are weaker vessels. They are special vessels. They are meant to be cared for, to be treated nicely. You look after them. If the girl gets on your nerve, you have to have the self-discipline. When he says be a man, have the self-discipline to control the circumstance and walk away from it. And go vex how you want to vex. But don't ever put that anger on a girl and hit her. A woman is meant to be respected. A good man respects women. You treat them with respect. Whether it's your woman or any woman, you treat them with respect. You are not allowed to disrespect a woman. Even if the woman is disrespecting you, you have the control to walk away and to sever the relationship if you have to. Be calculative as a man. See, a man is self-controlled. The woman can be very loud-mouthed and making you angry all the time, getting on your nerves. You have to now take time to be strategic and calculate, how do you deal with this matter? How do you remove this insult from your life or this nagging? How do you get it to end? How do you educate this woman or discipline her without, give her a space and slowly draw out a plan of how you are going to sort out this matter without raising your voice or your hand and, keep quiet. Just keep quiet and let her finish talking. So, young man, before you bring a woman into your space, let me recap the things I've said. First of all, sort out your work. Get work sorted. If you can get your finances sorted and real estate, that's good. Control your sexual desire. And lastly, know how to deal, how to relate with a woman, how to love a woman, how to care for a woman, and how to respect a woman. Okay, what we are taught as men is that everybody will respect us. I'm the man, I'm the king. So everybody will respect you. But you see, the woman will naturally respect you when you are not bringing yourself to her level and getting into unnecessary arguments and raising your voice. No. You're a man. Be a man. Be a man. Less emphasis on strife, more emphasis on self-control, on discipline. That is the training we need to have. That's the training as parents we need to give to our male children, because like I said, we don't train the male child well, and it's a problem in society. Parents, when I was growing up, my parents were more interested in training the girl child because she's the one that's going to come home pregnant if you don't train her very well. She will have one physical evidence of a big tummy that will bring disgrace to the family, but the boy doesn't bring any tummy home. So we leave the boy child, not knowing that the girl is going to bring that big tummy home because a boy child somewhere was not trained properly. The girls get raped because the boys were not trained properly. The girls get beaten in their marriages. They go through hell in their marriage because we didn't raise the boys to be husbands, to be brothers, to be sons, to be responsible male members of society. So there is a gap, and that's why I titled this Brothers Needed. We need parents to raise sons who can be good brothers, good husbands, and we need young men to grow up, to learn, to discipline themselves, to mature, to train themselves to be good husbands, good brothers, good sons in society. I hope you learned something. This is titled Brothers Needed. The next one is Sisters Needed. Stay tuned for that. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do that. Ding the notification bell so you will get the notice when we have new videos in the channel. Thank you for watching, and God bless you.